When I finally decided to start my own business, I thought I was ready. For years, I've been running other people's businesses, big teams, big goals, big responsibilities. I'd help them grow, solve problems, and build their empires. So when I stepped out on my own, I honestly believed it would be easier. I had the knowledge, the experience, the drive. But what I didn't realise was that working in someone else's business and building your own are two very different battles. It didn't take long before I was caught in the same storms I'd once helped others through, those long hours, constant pressure, endless fires to put out. The dream of freedom quickly turned into a grind I couldn't escape. And for the first time, I understood something most business owners eventually face. Success doesn't come from effort alone. It comes from structure, leadership, and clarity. I started asking myself, why do so many good, capable people end up overwhelmed in their own business? I've seen it for decades, and now I was living it. Somewhere along the way, I stumbled onto a story, not from a business book, but from history, or maybe myth. The story of a craftsman-king named Tectamus. Tectamus was a builder. He wasn't born into royalty, he forged it. He started with his hands in the forge, hammering iron and steel. But over time, he realized that building walls and weapons wasn't enough. If his people were to thrive, he had to learn to build systems, structure, and vision. And that's when it clicked for me. Tectamus wasn't some ancient legend, he was us. Every business owner who starts out working hard then has to learn to lead differently if they ever want to be truly free. Every business owner's journey follows that same arc. We all begin as craftsmen and craftswomen, people of skill, knowledge, or trade. Whether you're a designer, an accountant, a consultant, a chef, or a builder, it's all the same. We start by doing the work, then we turn that craft into a business. And somewhere along the way, we stop being the craftsman and become the owner. But that transition is messy. No one shows you how to stop doing it and start leading. Most of us just keep working harder, thinking effort will solve everything, until we realise it won't. I've lived that cycle more than once, and I've watched countless others do the same. Over the last 30 years, I've worked across industries and countries, from one-person trades to global projects in more than 20 nations. I've made mistakes that cost me time, money, and sleep, and learned lessons that changed how I see business forever. I've probably forgotten more lessons than I can remember. And that started to bother me, because every one of those lessons could help someone else. Then something interesting happened. While coaching my clients, the lessons I'd forgotten would come back almost like echoes through their challenges. What they were facing reminded me of the things I'd once lived through. And every time that happened, I thought, that's another piece of gold I need to capture before it's lost again. Writing the books became my way of collecting those pieces of gold so they could help not just one client, but every business owner who picked up those pages. The process of writing turned into a forge of its own, where my experiences, wins, failures, and insights could be melted down and reshaped into something others could use. And the truth is, that process will never end, because as long as I keep coaching and learning, new lessons will surface. And I hope the stories of Tectamus will keep evolving right alongside them. That's how the King's Order was born, not as a program or a brand, but as a map, a living system that keeps growing. Each book explores one part of that journey. The king's path, where the craftsman becomes aware there is a path. The call to rise from worker to leader. The king's vision, learning to look a decade ahead and design the life and business you actually want. The king's quest, turning that vision into a 1-year missions and 90-day campaigns you can win. The king's treasury, mastering the flow of money so profit serves purpose, not stress. The king's discipline, the daily fight for focus, habits and consistency when no one's watching. The king's command, how to master time, rhythm and execution, your battle plan for every day. The king's code, your values, your standards, your personal governance as a leader. The king's legion, how to build people, culture and unity so the kingdom stands on its own. The king's legacy, the final ascent, building something that endures beyond the builder. Together they form a complete system, a way to move from chaos to command, from doing to leading, from building walls to building legacies. So why Tectamus? Because stories stick where spreadsheets don't. He represents every one of us building, breaking and rebuilding. His forge is our business. His kingdom is our legacy. Through his story, we see our own, and sometimes that perspective is all we need to take the next step. You were never meant to just work in your business. You were meant to build your kingdom. Over the next few weeks and months, I'm going to share insights from both my background, my story, and intertwined with Tectamus, we'll show you how you can build your kingdom.